Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Nick Robinson and welcome to the Yara Effect. Today we're going to be discussing giving yourself permission to be great. If you're new here, like, subscribe, and share. We're here to just create great content for people who are looking to re-engage with themselves as far as how they see themselves, self-love, self-care. It's for men and women. I don't discriminate. And if it resonates with you, please like, share, and subscribe. Tell people about it so that they can come and get some of this love and energy that we're receiving here today. Today, I want to talk about giving yourself permission to be great. Sometimes we do the best that we can to be the best people that we can, and sometimes it just is a journey. It's a journey. No one's perfect. That's the first thing to remember, and it's okay to be on a journey of self-improvement as you become more aware of who you are, who you want to be, and who you're striving to be as you grow as an individual. So the first thing that I want to point out to us is that we can acknowledge where we are in our improvement process and work at the pace that you feel comfortable. There is no sprint to being a great person, whether you're trying to be a better mom, a better dad, whether you're trying to be a better employee, friend, spouse, or whatever relationship that you're working on. Work at a pace that's comfortable for you. And I say that because as you fall into habits, it's hard to fall out of them. It's so easy to start a habit. Has anyone ever tried to stop drinking or stop smoking? Some people can stop cold turkey, and then there's others of you that may have to, over time, just, okay, instead of a pack a week, I'm gonna do every 2 weeks, or however you can improve yourself. Make sure it's something that you're comfortable with, because you don't want to do this back and forth with the improvement. You want to make small steps if that's needed, and it's okay for you to need that. Some people, they can jump out there and just boom, get it done. Great. I'm proud of you. But for those of us that need to take our time, it's okay to do that. Acknowledge where you need to improve. Take accountability. Forgive yourself. Okay? You have to forgive yourself for whatever mistakes that you've made. Forgive yourself for your shortcomings, because again, none of us are perfect, and that's okay. But take steps that make you feel comfortable. Okay? I know for me, one of the things that always comes in my mind is, okay, how can I do this? What can I do? And this is different for everybody. Whatever situation that you're going through, and you see yourself trying to improve so that you can be that great individual that you know is inside, you have to look at, sometimes write it down. Okay, today is the day. And it don't have to be the new year. It doesn't have to be the start of a week. It can be on a Wednesday night at 10 o'clock. And you just been thinking about something, and you're like, you know what? Tomorrow is a new day. But tonight, I'm going to start right now. And a lot of times it is your mindset. You have to change your mindset in order for there to be improvement. Whenever you get a negative thought, replace it with a positive thought. Okay? Whether those negative thoughts are coming from internally or externally, internalize the good. Get rid of the bad. Take steps. I know for me, sometimes getting into relationships that just are not good for me. Okay? And I mean romantic relationships. Sometimes you have to, after you break up, you may want to call that person and be like, well, if I just say this one thing, it may change. Or if I do this one thing, it may make them see me differently. No, it won't. No, it won't. Because you have to understand what you are worth. And in any situation, if you're not getting that back in exchange, you don't have to subject yourself to it. Acknowledge that, hey, this is a bad situation. I don't want to be in it. What steps do I need to take to get out of it? And do that. That means don't make that phone call. That means don't send that text message. That means find something else to do. I know for me, I like to read. I like to write. I like music. So, and when I say read or write or music, don't read something that's in line with what you're feeling. You know what I mean? Like, I love music, right? So I'm not going to be in that moment of, oh, I want to do something that's against what I really want for myself, and then I'm gonna listen to music that corroborates it. Like, I'm not gonna listen to sad love songs and I'm feeling sad about my love life. Listen to something uplifting. It don't necessarily have to be gospel, but something inspirational or something that makes you feel good. I know for me, because I was married before, to my children's father, when we broke up, for a long time, I would listen to Mary J. Blige's Fine, that song. I felt everything but fine. Here I was, a single mom with two small children, going through a divorce, trying to find somewhere else to live, trying to get my life together. Didn't know how I was going to live day to day because my money was not right. And I was everything but fine. But that song, the words in that song really helped me connect with how I wanted to feel. And I began feeling that. You have to fill yourself with positivity to get from a bad or hard place. So honestly, when you are trying to improve, go at a pace that's comfortable for you. Do the things that you need to do for yourself. And it takes a little bit of selfishness. It really does. It's okay. I think a lot of times we have conditioned ourselves in our communities, in our society, that taking time for yourself isn't good. It's not right, especially when you're a parent. When you're a mom, that mommy guilt is very, very strong. But how can you be the best mom that you can be when you need to work on yourself and you don't take the time to do that? So take your time. Baby steps. Sometimes it's half a baby step, okay? And that's fine. But as long as you're moving forward, you can feel good about that. And one day you'll look up and say, you know what? I feel so good today. I'm so free from that negative feeling, from that past experience. And when you do that, you absolve yourself of the bitterness, of the anger. And it takes time to work through those things, because I get it. Like, for a long time, I was very angry and hurt behind some of the things that happened. But one way that I worked through my grief, because when you go through a divorce, it is like a death. It is a grieving process. And I don't know how many people realize that, but truly it is. So if you are feeling that, it's absolutely accurate. You're validated in that feeling. You have to go through those steps of grief to get to a better place. Don't dwell too long in that anger space, because then it'll start manifesting into all kinds of negative energy, and you attract what you are. Whether you want to believe it or not, whether you understand it or not, you attract what you are. Whatever is inside of you, that's what you're going to keep seeing. And one thing about God is, whatever it is that you haven't learned, you're going to keep repeating until you learn that lesson. You can't move on from it. No matter how long you try to run from it, it's still right there in your face. It's there. So I encourage you today to improve at the pace you feel comfortable, because when you do that, you allow this blossoming and this growing that is impeccable. And it's nothing like feeling that feeling of growth. It gives you, it gets you to a place of gratitude. It gets you to a place of wholeness. It gets you to a place of happiness. So, once you get to that place of, okay, I feel good. I feel good. I'm really loving myself right now. I'm really in a place of feeling great. That's wonderful. I love that. In life, sometimes there are going to be moments where you don't feel so great, and that's okay, because once you gain that level of comfort, and once you gain that level of just, okay, I feel good, something may come and bam, you right back to, oh, this is not what I wanted to be. This is not what I signed up for. Life happens. Things happen. That does not deter you from where you've come. It does not mean that you're not great, because you are. You absolutely are. The fact that you are looking to improve yourself, the fact that you're on your journey to your greatness, whatever that may be for you, shows that there's something inside of you that knows and that acknowledges that. And it's okay to take that journey. And once you are at your level of greatness that you can conceive of in your mind, your greatness will be felt as an experience. You won't have to make it evident to anyone that comes into contact with you. You don't have to talk about, oh, I'm great because X, Y, and Z. People will just feel it. Their experience of you will tell you. And they themselves will tell you. I remember I had gone through a lot with my divorce, and there was a coworker of mine that, I never told her what was going on, but sometimes you just wear that heaviness. You know what I mean? Like, people can look at you and tell, even though you're trying to be happy and you're trying to put on a good face, they can tell like something is wrong. Well, every day, that we would see each other, she would smile, speak, we would be cordial. And that was great. And then as time went on, I saw her outside of work and bumped into her. We were at like they had this DJ music drinks type of thing going on. It was an event. And I went and I bumped into her. And she said, oh my goodness. She said, you look so good. And I said, well, thank you. I feel good. And she said, you know what? You look free. And I told her, I said, you know what? That's the word. That's the word. And she didn't know what I was free from. She had no idea what was going on in my life. But she said, you look free. And that was confirmation that I'm approaching my greatness. And I was so grateful that, it was evident. I didn't have to tell her anything. She didn't know what I was going through. She didn't know what I had been through, but she said I looked free. And I couldn't really voice or explain what it was I felt like when I in my inward thoughts and everything. But when she said that word free, I said, you know what? That's absolutely on point. And that's what I mean by people will experience your greatness. You won't have to tell them. You won't have to say anything. They'll just see it and they'll acknowledge it. And that's your cue that you're on track for becoming the greatness that you are. You don't have to be ashamed of it. You don't have to be shy of it. You don't have to do anything but just live in it. And I promise you, it's going to feel maybe free is my word. What's your word? In the comments, tell me when you reached that point in your life where you were feeling good and you are experiencing this lightness that you had never experienced before. What was your word? My word was free. So tell me, was that your word? Was that your experience? Was that what you were feeling? Or what else was it? Because I want us to, as we go through these videos and sharing and everything, let's be a community, because the Yara effect is about bringing people together and depending on each other to make it through the challenges of life. One thing about your greatness, though, it should never be used to diminish or devalue anybody. That's a true sign of a great person. We are a very judgmental society. I mean, we judge each other based off of how we look, how we sound, how we dress. I think we just do it without even thinking of it. You see someone and you say, oh, he's cute or she's beautiful or whatever the case may be. And then if we see somebody and be like, ooh, what's going on with them? Like, what's wrong with her? What's wrong with him? Like, we just do it on the fly. But when you are a truly great person, your greatness should never be used to diminish and devalue others. Like, I can't tell you how many times, people allow that pride to well up in them. And I mean, we'll talk about that another time. That's a whole nother video. But, you being great does not mean that you should use it as a weapon against someone else. In fact, you're going into a dangerous territory because, again, like we said, everything that you put out, you do get back. You know what I'm saying? But you are also blocking favor. You're blocking blessings. you're blocking so many other things that God has for you when you use your greatness to diminish and devalue others. In fact, your greatness should be a blessing, not only to yourself, but to others. That's what we are created to do. All of us, in whatever way, whatever skill, whatever talent we have, we were created to give back so that we can help someone else. You know, a lot of times, whenever I was going through whatever I was going through, I'd be like, why? Like, what did I do to deserve this? Number one. Number two, what can I do to have better experiences? You know what I mean? And I had to realize that you do have to turn your pain into purpose. And you do have to reach back and help others. And that's what this is all about. Like, coming together, talking it out, being there, helping others. I am a life coach, so it is my duty to help people that want to be helped. Like, I'm hoping that this channel reaches the people that it needs to reach. And that's why I started it, because I know there are so many, especially women, because I'm a woman myself. We are so hurt. We are so hurt. And I mean, not just a pain that, you know, you feel it for the moment and then, you know, you can go on. No, I mean, we are internally bleeding inside. And so what we do, if we're not evolved, if we're not mature, we hurt other people. Whether it's, you know, family, friends, people we don't even know. Like, we walk around with an attitude, you know, the RBF, resting bitch face. Like, we don't have to do that. The way to come out of that, if you want to, because no one can make someone do what they don't want to do. But if you want to come out of it, you can. And you can take whatever steps you need to do that, little by little. And as you start to feel better, you will not be able to even put yourself in a position where you're devaluing others. You'll want other people to feel what you're feeling. That's how you know you're stepping into your greatness. And when you're stepping towards your greatness and you are in your greatness, that's when God really show up and show out. I promise you. I want everybody that wants that to get to a place where they experience that, because I promise you, it is so wonderful. It's a beautiful thing. And the last thing that I want to go over with you is, just because others don't see your greatness does not mean it doesn't exist. Y'all, I can't tell you how many times that sometimes even the people that you know and love just don't see your greatness. They don't get it. They can't see past your mistakes. They can't see past, you know, when you were not improved. They can't see past whatever their impression of you is. And I just want to encourage somebody to say, you are who you say you are. Period. You don't need anybody else's permission. You don't need anybody else's approval. The greatness that is inside of you, whether it's inwardly you trying to bring it out, whether you have brought it out, whether you walking in it, whoever doesn't see it, don't let them devalue it. Don't let them make you feel like it doesn't exist. Don't let them make you feel like you're undeserving of that. You deserve it. And I'm talking to the people that are good people, that just want to be good to others. And you have a gift or you have a talent and you're afraid. You be great anyway. You be great. You journey through. And even when you get a level beyond where you were before, that doesn't stop. Every day that we wake up is a time for us to decide, you know what? How am I going to walk in my greatness today? What am I going to do? What am I going to say? You deserve that. You owe it to yourself. You can't be great angry. You can't be great vengeful. You can't be great trying to hurt people. Because the pain that you create is the same pain you're going to feel. We'll get into all of this more as time goes on. But I promise you, give yourself permission to be great through your actions, through your words, through your deeds, how you treat people. It makes a difference, y'all. I promise you, it makes a big difference. That's all I got for today. Thank you for joining me. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. My name is Nick Robinson. I'll see you next time.